it's tiny.
Yeah. That's what I said. It's not like a castle. It's
Oh,
like,
wow.
I'm going to turn around because... Yeah.
Pretty small castle.
That's what I said to you. And you're like, no, it's huge. It's a castle.
From the pictures, it looks huge.
Probably. So, reward you. Star Wars garden was named after I guess when there's one in Victoria, it's exact same or similar. Governor General would come through, or Lieutenant Governor comes through that gate.
Where'd he go? Mr. Hibbity Hop is under the tree. There he goes. There's a squirrel too.
More wildlife here than I've seen here.
Huh.
Like kids.
What's he doing? He's storing his nuts. Eating something. Oh, is there? Oh, yeah. Squirrels. Rose bushes.
Oh, somehow I was so far.
Hi.
How are you today?
Good.
How may I help you?
Just oranges.
Yeah, so this is the historic residence of the Lieutenant Governor. I'm sure you learned out there. So a lot of the stuff dates back to 1891, 1910, and the power line down here have been in use since our second Lieutenant Governor, George Brown. The Landau specifically has seen a lot more usage.
Yeah.
That was up until about 2012, where they then retired it. You'll see kind of the last usage right on display there.
Oh, wow.
So that the reason being is there's no brakes on the Landau, so a little dangerous to kind of the occupants, because it would typically be the royal family or the lieutenant governor or the governor general riding it.
Okay.
So the wing we're currently in is the Queen Elizabeth wing. We're going to be going to the Queen Victoria wing right now.
Okay.
So this is the old museum entrance. This
Oh.
was all 2005 here. So as we turn the corner, we'll see more original sections of the house.
Okay.
So that was built 1928, the conservatory was 1901, and the house itself was 1891. So all of this was added on
Wow.
after its initial construction.
Do they still do active?
They sure do. So the ballroom is used for the Victorian teas that are held kind of first weekend of every month. Sometimes there's just random receptions, events that the Lieutenant Governor wants to hold.
Sure.
That kind of deal, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And then there's the conservatory here. It's also open to the public. Very warm. Used to be the south side of the building, and when they built the ballroom, they moved it over here. But there's also reading
Wow.
material. It's the Daily Journal of the head gardener that date back 1905, 1910. But to the day, you can read kind of what his thoughts were.
Wow. It's beautiful in here.
Yeah, especially this time of day. As bright as
It's
it
nice.
is.
Just hot.
That is our current Lieutenant Governor. His portrait right there. That is his honor Veracity. So
Okay.
this is no longer the residence, but it is the office.
It's
Okay.
funny, we were just at the legislative building.
Oh yes.
And of course, they have all the portraits of all the previous city.
Oh yeah.
Do you want the door shut or just?
Yeah, closed.
Okay.
And
And we asked him who the current one was, and he didn't know.
really,
Yes.
the current Lieutenant Governor.
Yes.
Oh.
So it was kind of, and then he says, well, if you want to learn more about them, go down to the
Yeah.
Art Museum. And it's like, okay,
Wow.
So
good to us.
yeah, there's about every 8 years they switch out, give or take.
For sure.
Amédée Forget has been Lieutenant Governor twice, so he was during the kind of transitional period between the Northwest Territories to Saskatchewan, and this was the office. So it's kind of, this space has been in use until about 1945 when it became a convalescence home, so everything here was kind of painted over and sold off. Then it became a school, and then it became the museum you know today, well, or seeing today rather. But yes, I guess any questions before we really get into it?
Go.
No,
okay,
no.
alright, so,
Go ahead.
they had a telephone line. They had electricity here as the first electrified residence.
Yeah.
Radiators and all the stuff there. Of course, they weren't too efficient, so they had coal power on top of it. Well, coal
Okay.
heating rather in the fireplaces there.
Yeah.
They also had pets. You'll see the bird cage there. That's for the African gray parrot they had here, Coquette.
Oh
She
wow.
can speak French, keep the guests entertained.
No
So,
way.
bit of a socialite hub the house was back in the day too. So they had quite a few people coming through the spaces.
Yeah.
But they even had a pet monkey, Jocko. So that's what the rocking horse is for.
Oh no way.
And so they reinforced the chandeliers because of him too, because he'd be swinging and all the like. So solid steel rod you'll see in a lot of the light fixtures.
Yeah.
The
Jeez.
portrait behind me here is of Queen Victoria. It is also original to the house. Henriette Forget commissioned this back in 1903 about. And so she paid C.S. Hatch $700 to travel all the way over to England, which was to replicate a portrait hung in Windsor Castle.
Wow.
So that was painted 1899. Queen Victoria only sat for 20 minutes for that portrait. So the artist worked from memory.
Oh, wow.
So, a bit difficult of a project, but yes. At one point this was at the legislature as well. It's been kind of making rounds, but
Okay.
permanent display here now.
Wow.
Yeah, any questions about the library? We'll continue on. Otherwise,
Yeah. This is just so cool.
there's the ceremonial entrance. It's one of the functional spaces in the museum as well. So if there's a diplomatic visit to Saskatchewan, they typically come through these doors here to be received by the Lieutenant Governor. So back in the day, of course, everybody came through these rooms. So you'll see there's brushes over there to clean off any dirt on your shoes because outside was unpaved. And then as you enter into the area here, you leave your outer layers, like your hats, your jackets, walking canes, all here.
So if King Charles were to come
Yes.
to Saskatchewan,
Yep.
he would come through
Yep.
here if he was visiting here.
Exactly.
Wow.
Especially the Lieutenant Governor's residence, as the representative of the monarchy for the province, they would visit here. And there's been quite a few royal visits since, well, prior to this year as well. Like I said, Queen Elizabeth visited in 2005. I don't think I did say that, but to open her wing. As well as, I think, another royal visit as well. I can't recall, but regardless.
Does the Lieutenant Governor live still here, or
Not here. There's a private residence on the south end of Regina. It's just an apartment condo kind of deal.
Sure.
But they have their private residence still. It's just so that they don't have to sell their home to live here, you know, that kind of deal. But they work here still. The north end of the building is the office of the LG.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I also noticed a lot of old buildings have like these like
Those hinges, yeah.
yeah, like they're not the same, but they're always so decorative.
Yeah, very much so. It's a lot of kind of well, even the handles as well. They were recreated though. These were definitely not installed in the doors originally.
Oh, okay. Oh,
At
wow.
least when it was a convalescence home, a lot of the stuff was kind of removed and replaced throughout the years. That kind of deal. Yeah. So just around the corner here is the billiards room. This is where the gentleman would be kind of busy slightly.
Ooh, there's that goose on the wall.
So yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm just gonna stay here.
You'll see taxidermy.
Oh,
on this
here,
space
Derek,
as
I'll
well.
give this to you.
She's not really well with taxidermy, so.
Oh, that's all good. But yes, this is the smoking room. So the room was designed to kind of hide the smoke that would be in here. The wallpaper here is textured, more surface area to trap in smoke, that kind of deal. This is the only wood burning fireplace as well. So takes up smoke, uses more oxygen, puts it through the chimney as opposed to opening up windows in colder temperatures, that kind of deal.
Yep.
But yeah, when they're finished in here, they even freshen up in kind of a porcelain dish. Should have rose water or citrus water in it.
Nice.
No, their facial hair, their fingers, that kind of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any questions about the space?
No, it's quite interesting.
Was the pool table always in here?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. This is a bit of a different pool table too. There's no pockets. It's more of a Frenchman's game called Carom Billiards. You just use the cue balls as well as the scoring ball.
Yeah.
You strike the scoring ball and hit your opponent's cue ball. That's how you get a point.
Okay. Cool. Very neat.
Yes. And just around the corner here is the old court uniform. We don't wear these anymore. This was the last one made, 1963.
Oh, wow.
So that was Lieutenant Governor Bastido's uniform. It's real gold thread, real gold plated buttons, all that. There's ostrich feathers in the cap. It's made of beaver pelt.
Holy
It works.
smokes.
Protocol still exists, I think, for this to be made. No one would ever do it though, because I mean,
Yeah.
quite expense.
So,
yeah.
That would not be cheap these days.
No.
no, so like that uniform alone is probably like
Yeah.
thousands
Yeah,
of
we
dollars.
say priceless with some of these things.
Yeah.
But that would have been made about every 8 years.
Wow.
Of course, this is the sword. Human row. They have their own swords.
You see the name there and the location? We're from Watrous.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no
So-
way.
Manitou Beach.
Manitou Beach. That's funny.
Yeah, that's where Human Row was staying. So Archibald McNabb was sending it back to him. Eventually, the sword went out to auction once Human Row passed away. Not just that, somebody else did that. I think his wife.
Oof.
Somebody. So it was actually an auction in Montreal. And it was 10 grand to purchase it back. They did donations. Schools helped pay for it back then. But here's the dining room. The Regina leader back in the day said that this was the finest dining room in Canada. So everything you see here is largely original, from the portraits to the cutlery, the plates, the table itself, the chandelier. It's one of the more original rooms in the house. And so you have 13 courses of food. The table extends to seat 40 people. The reason why we even have some of this cutlery is because of the safe in the back right corner there. That held all of the china and all that. We kept it locked until about the 70s, and then we cracked it open and found everything in here.
Wow.
So yeah.
I would imagine through those doors would be the kitchen.
The servery, actually.
Oh,
The
okay.
kitchen's in the basement.
Oh, okay.
So there's a dumbwaiter connecting the two, so
Sure.
you can get easy access pretty quickly, but
I didn't suspect that you would have a kitchen.
you know, right in the,
In
in the
this-
space. No,
yeah.
no. That was all in the servants' quarters to the north. Yes. You can see the menu on the table there, what they were.
Yeah.
Some little sample of what they could have been eating at the time. There's also a dinner gong in the corner, so that you don't have to shout in a house like this.
That reminds me of like one of those old mirrors.
Oh yeah.
Like,
This is the drawing room. This is kind of the ladies' space where the men roll off in the billiards room. It also doubled as an extension of the dining room.
yeah.
But you'll see it's a much more natural lit space. The big mirrors to reflect that light from the windows. You know, a lot more kind of floral colorings as well. The piano was original. Gerrit Heinzmann himself brokered the deal for André Forget to receive the piano.
Yeah.
So he was here. It's about $600 to purchase this piano. Back in the day, that would have been $100 more expensive than a house.
Wow.
So, quite the piano. The only thing that's wrong with it is the soundboard. It's cracked.
Uh-oh.
So we don't tune it, we don't play it anymore. Otherwise, further damage would occur.
Yeah. Huh.
But then we have the petticoat mirror here. So it's pointed towards the ground, and that's because petticoats, you wouldn't want them to show, or your ankles. So you didn't want to draw attention.
What are we looking at?
The mirror right there.
Oh.
It's a discreet way to check to see if your ankles are showing.
No way.
So you just walk past very quickly, adjust,
Yeah.
and continue on. Didn't draw any attention to it.
Wow.
And then we have the tipping table. And so they want their furniture against the walls because they dance through these spaces. Before there was a ballroom.
Yeah.
The main hall, the dining room, one big circle.
Cool.
Yeah, the main floor is mainly for entertaining guests. Upstairs is kind of where all the bedrooms are.
Okay.
So if you were to stay, you'd be spending a lot of time there.
That clock is amazing.
Yeah, that's actually original to the house. That's
Is it?
1891. Yep.
No way. Huh.
You see the skylight here. A big hole on the second floor. Wow. It allows the skylight to go all the way down to the first floor.
Wow.
It's very, very unique for a house of this time period.
Wow.
Yeah, on the east side of the house is all the guest bedrooms. So you'll see in the photos here, that's the landau. That's the same one that you would have saw in the hallway. That transported the Prince of Wales, who later became King Edward VIII. Or 7th. Yes. No, 8th. 7th. So you'll see him seated there with Sir Richard Lake and his family. He has a child in his lap. Of course, a cigarette in his left hand, but different time. And this was his room. Of course, a lot of other guests stayed in this room as well, but this is kind of how you expect your guest bedrooms to be set up for you. You have, your clothing laid fresh on the bed, ready for the day. Wash basins on the far right side here, to freshen up. You have a shaving basin as well. Though quite often people did not shave. Instead, they'd make use of teacups such as this here. You see there's an extra bit of porcelain within it. It's for your mustache.
Mustache.
Oh.
Yeah, so you
mustache
would have
cover.
styling wax and you wouldn't want to melt into the tea and you
Right.
want to get tea in your mustache. So 2 birds, 1 stone kind of deal right there.
And then I got your pet monkey. Kind
Oh
of
yeah,
thing.
that's Jocko right there. I can put you in a little monkey right there.
Yeah.
Of course, it's in the chamber pot, which is a little questionable. But I don't put him there.
So nice.
So this is the morning. This is kind of what's on the tin. You have your breakfast here, read your morning paper, morning tea, all that kind of deal. The unique thing about this room, though, are the windows. The hardware is designed to open up completely, so
Wow.
you can have the maids bring in stairs to climb through the windows, and outside will be waiting for you as tables and chairs. So you have breakfast outside on the portico.
Oh my.
Of course, back in the day, there would have been very little trees, so you would have been able to see for kilometers,
Yeah.
as well as the sun would just blind you. So, on a good day, you'd head out there.
I'm sure that when this house was built, there wasn't much around here.
No, it was 52 acres of land. So that goes all the way from Louvain to the river, kind of between us and the RCP Heritage Center, following south towards the golf course. So that is, large space.
Yes, for sure.
But yes, here's the first guest bedroom. So the larger the guest bedrooms, the King of England would stay in that one because there's an unaccompanied lady in here, and they didn't want to kick her out. So he took the smaller room, she got the larger room.
Oh wow.
And kind of paying homage to that is a bunch of clothing women would have worn back in the day. So you have the outer layers on the bed, the more infamous inner layers in the dresser there, in particular the corset. If you imagine your hands as the corset, the goal for women was to basically get all their fingers to touch around their waist.
Oh, I'm in trouble. I'm in
So,
trouble.
It didn't matter your size, it was impossible, but they'd still try.
Yeah.
So that couch right there is a fainting couch. So
Oh,
you'd
that. Okay.
often be so restricted in your breathing, you'd get lightheaded, and
No
you'd have to lay down,
way.
otherwise you'd hit the ground. kind of
Yeah.
deal.
Jeez.
But it wasn't just the corset, you'll see the gloves there are about the same width as my wrist.
Yeah.
You'll need to use the glove stretchers to get those on. That's the clamps on the table right there.
Oh my
Put it against
goodness.
your forearm, stretch open the glove, get your hand in. Have to do the same to get your hand out.
They were brutal, the women back then.
Oh yeah, it was all in the effort to look as delicate as possible. And so you had to
Wow.
put yourself in a lot of pain to that regard.
Yeah. Jeez. And then around there is like just a closet?
Ensuite, actually, which we
Oh.
can see just
Oh,
through the
okay.
main hall here.
Sure. Okay,
So right here
wow.
is the first guest bathroom. So Regina did not have a sewer system,
Yeah.
so this house had a tank of water in the attic and a pit in the backyard.
Oh,
So
wow.
the toilet here is operated off of gravity, and that's why you still see chamber pots underneath the beds.
Okay.
Because there's air in those pipes, and if water rattles around, it's very loud.
Yeah.
So you'd wake everybody up if you flushed it. So you only do it in the middle of the day. But just next to it is a copper bathtub. So copper doesn't rust.
Yeah.
It heats up with the rest of the water, and if it did get cold, you could put candles underneath it to warm the tub back up. So very luxurious option. It was a year's worth of wages for a servant.
Wow.
So quite expensive.
Whew. It's a big bathroom too.
Yeah, there is a water closet, I guess is the term too. I think it'd be for dressing and stuff.
Yeah.
And it serviced a good portion of the house. There's another one just adjacent to here. But right here's the master bedroom. So this is where the Lieutenant Governor and his wife would stay. The dress you see there is an original one from 1898. That's in the style that Queen Victoria would have been wearing at the time. So when her husband, Prince Albert, passed away, she went into mourning for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
And of course, everybody copies the Queen, so that's when you see black dresses like that being
Wow.
worn everywhere. But the master bedroom here is kind of a combination of the morning room and the first guest bedroom. You have
Yeah.
your breakfast space right here. The fireplace here, just next to it, is a bed warmer with a long handle, copper pot. Put coal from the fire in there and then shift it to your bed sheets. Hopefully you wouldn't light it on fire. But.
Wow.
Of course, when they built the ballroom, they had to replace the bathroom here, so they built this one. So a little out of the decade.
Mm-hmm.
The thing are the faucets; those are gold plated in there.
Okay.
So they were given as a gift by Disney. All of it.
That's like a child's bathtub in a way.
Any
Wow.
questions about the master bedroom here?
It's quite luxurious.
We had 3 buttons to call servants in here. Instead of usually 1. The butler, the kitchen, the chambermaids. You can get half the house around your own.
Oh, wow.
Hello. Hello. Back on the tour. We got 3 more rooms here.
Well, get out of your way. That's okay. Actually, if I keep going in circles, I'm going to get lost.
This is the governess's room. And so she was in charge of the kids, had a lot of weight on her shoulders and a lot of responsibility, so she was fortunate enough to be roomed in the center of the house, as opposed to, the service quarters. That being said, she was pretty busy. Let's see, there's a sewing machine here. She had to fix clothes, teach kids lessons, prepare them to enter society is the term. So a lot to do, very little time. But yes, just adjacent to is the night nursery, so if the kids woke up, they'd go to her first, not the
Okay.
parents over and the next room over, so a little practical there.
And this was very key. Oh, no, we go around.
Yeah, the hallway there is all adult.
Okay.
Because what they'd often do is close off the doors there, because kids were not to be seen or heard.
Oh.
So they'd lock it, throw away the key almost, just when guests were visiting. So this is night nursery. This is where they sleep. They were discouraged from playing in this room. They thought it was unhealthy for their minds. But it's a lot of good examples of clothing children were wearing at the time.
Mm-hmm.
All white, kind of long dresses, frocks, that kind of thing. Until they got a bit older, and then both boys and girls wore dresses like the one you would have seen. And, well, you see right in that portrait.
Yeah.
Until boys got between the ages of 5 and 8, and then they'd breach over into pants, like that right there.
Wow.
Yeah, you'll see photos. It got very confusing to tell who was who sometimes, but yes. There's also
Very
the dolls and the storybooks, that kind of deal.
Oh,
Helps them
yeah, the
sleep.
socks. Cool.
So what they do in the next room over is play, the day nursery.
Okay.
This also is the last room. But quite often when guests were visiting, they'd be in this room, the kids, kind of isolated. Because, they'd have a lot of books, a lot of toys. Even the wallpaper here was designed to kind of keep the kids busy. They'd keep it black and white so that they could color it. So from floor to ceiling, it'd take you a couple days at least to get everything done.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, there are lessons happening here, so a lot of books, even toys in the shelving here. you'll see they for kids that were supposed to be quiet, I think including an accordion is a bit interesting decision there, but yes, those kinds of things. They even offered cannons that could fire at each other, part of this board game, that kind of stuff.
Huh. Very cool. Actually, I used to have a rocking horse, kind of like that when I was
Interesting.
really young. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the last room in the main center of the house, the core.
Okay.
So the next area to kind of go through is the interpretive center, which is unguided,
Okay.
but it also takes you right back to the front.
Okay.
But there's a bit to see here. Talks about the Veterans Rehabilitation Center. You'll see the second floor here, completely barren. So they sold everything off.
Wow.
They painted everything white. They boarded up the skylights, all of that. So that was until about 57 where they then turned everything into a school. So these rooms have seen a lot of different things.
Where would have this
I
been?
think that's in the basement.
Is that?
That
Okay.
or no, the servants' quarters. Maybe on the first floor.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Oh no, on the second floor of what was the original servants' quarters. Interesting.
Huh.
But you'll see then the school era. There's a boiler stack that's not there anymore for sure. They don't have the railings on the portico anymore either.
Wow.
But all that, yeah, all these rooms have seen many different purposes. And then just through here is the interpretive center.
Okay.
And so, like I said, it's self-guided.
Okay.
But no confusing to exit. So here, I'll just point some stuff out for you guys.
Sure.
So to the left is an exhibit about the convalescence home. There's an elevator there that takes you to the front of the museum.
Okay.
But if you continue on the right, there's an art gallery, a long hallway to your left.
Okay.
At the end of that, there's stairs and an elevator, which will take you right back to the front desk.
Okay,
Where I'll
perfect.
be. So,
Awesome.
Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them then.
No,
Thank
thank
you.
you very much.
Yeah, no
Appreciate it.
problem.
Thank you. Wow. So much about the Queen and the King and
Oh, this is in the oil.
doctors.
Yeah, so convalescent home would be like people that had come back from the war
Yeah.
and they need a little bit of time to rehab or rehabilitate.
This place is quite amazing. Interactive board? I don't know. Elevators. Oh wow, the Queen was up here. Huh. What year was this in?
Doesn't matter, it just tells you what
Oh.
what a
What's up? Oh, I love these like cartoons. There's the monkey.
Press the buttons here.
Oh, hi, Dr. Stephen Moravitz. It's good to see you again. It's Gordon Barnhart. And with me is Her Honor Von Solomon Schofield.
Hello. I'm delighted to visit with Saskatchewan's 20th and 21st Lieutenant Governors.
Thank you. And if I remember correctly, you were the province's 13th Lieutenant Governor and the first of Ukrainian descent. When we first met in February 1970, you had just been appointed and were opening the Saskatchewan legislature. I was clerk of the legislature and had just started the year before.
Of course. You were a very young man then. Youngest clerk in the Commonwealth or something like that.
That's right. I was 24. Served there for the next 20 years.
Did I hear someone say you've done consulting international?
Yes, I've always been a firm
You wanna listen
believer
to the
in
whole
the
thing?
importance of good governance, not only here in Canada, but around the world. It was a great
So here.
Uh-huh.
So number 1 is the center area, which is ceremonial circle.
That's this thing.
And then this garden. See the pathways that go through the center area.
Lots of old trees.
Yeah. This is the National Commemorative Plaque of the house. Guided tour. Ooh la la. I don't know where that's going to take us. George Watt is the landscaper in this garden.
Oh.
He's the landscaper.
Wow. I hear the squirrel. Cheeping away.
I kind of keep track of time here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Little roundabout area. It's a nice tree. Something in the bush?
Something in the bush. What? Yes.
Squirrel or a rabbit. As long as it doesn't jump out and fly at us.
There's
Oh, a bird.
Oh,
Where? Woodpecker. Oh, right there. Jeez.
we are here. There's all of this back here and all the way around.
Oh, wow.
That's a huge garden.
Yeah.
Close to be. There's so much to see here.
The greenhouse.
Victory Garden.
Yep. Rhubarb. Tomatoes. A beautiful butterfly. gosh. Strawberries. Wow. Onions.
Make the circle around here and then we'll come
Sure.
back and then we should be right back.
Do that quite fast.
What a great thing for the residents that we can have a huge garden area.
For the who?
Residents around here.
Oh yeah. Lots of sitting areas. They can kick soccer balls around.
Oh, that's probably what that is over there. It's probably like a...
Oh yeah, look at that. Want to look at that rock?
Sure.
Okay, we'll head over there really quick. Nice little shaded area.
Gazebo.
Yeah. The benches are kind of neat. It's all lit up at night. They've got little lamps all the way around. Map of Saskatchewan, I guess.
Source of residential schools.
Ah. Nice little area. Senior home is back there, I think. Soccer field, which I was right. And back to the gardens. Okay.
And this would be something your mom would like to see.
Oh yeah.
But she wouldn't want to do it on the walk.
That's why I film. I feel like my hair is all messy. Right here.
Could be a lot of tulips. Tulips in the center.
Very nice. I wonder what kind of plants these are. It's like little flowers.
Can't get that way from.
Oh,
Just goes in a circle.
well, we can cut the grass.
Sprinkler comes off.
That's what you call, yeah, what you call off-roading.
That will head back because we're almost 5 minutes now.
Yep.
Our tour. I think we
Well, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Here I had to stand with the Queen for a second. She will be remembered. Anyways, if you'd like to check out the garden area sometime and this building, the museum, it's really interesting and there's so much to look at and so much information. So if you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Give this video a like as it lets me know if you like this kind of content and also helps my channel grow. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time in the next video. If you're interested in looking at more videos kind of like this, I do have a playlist called Tours. I think it was Tours. Anyways, there's so much videos on this channel that you can check out.